Hello. Another common question that I get is what is craniosacral and what is somatoemotional release? So craniosacral, I've explained a little bit about the craniosacral nerves. We have 12 nerves that innervate. 9 of them are in our face. 1 is our SCM, from our jaw down to our clavicle, another in our traps, and then the 10th is our vagus nerve, which goes from our brainstem down into our organs and bringing information from our organs back to our brain. So it's part of our nervous system. So craniosacral therapy, or the practice, is different for everyone. The way I practice it is by tuning into my clients' bodies, feeling their rhythms, feeling into the structure of their body, so where there might be holding patterns, etc. So I'm feeling into the very physical alignment of their body, in addition to the fascia that holds the patterns in the body. So the fascia, our superficial fascia is our skin, our deep or visceral fascia are our organs, and then we have the fascia that winds around each muscle and helps us hold our shape, basically, and helps us live and move. And so our fascia needs a lot of water, it needs movement, it's made of collagen. So we do need movement, we do need water, we do need all of these things in order to be healthy. If you notice, after sleeping or after sitting for a long time, you'll feel tight in an area. So the fascia becomes more dense in that area. And that's sort of what I'm feeling into when I feel a holding pattern, except for it's a little more energetic. And this is where this somatoemotional piece comes in. So somatoemotional means, soma, it means body, so body emotional release. So our body, you might have heard, our issues are in our tissues. Maybe you've heard that. That's a common sort of yin quote, yin yoga quote. So what it means really is, when we experience a trauma or a big emotional experience, our body will form itself in a way to protect itself or to get ready to run, fight, flight, etc. When we do that, and when we continue to do that, our body sort of comes into that protection space, and if we re-experience this trauma or experience or whatever it might be, chances are we'll come back into that same shape. So we're going to be holding that emotion in that tight area of our body. So the practice of somatoemotional release is something that we can do for ourselves, but it's bringing awareness to those points in our body that are holding tension. So one way that I like to practice this myself, and I actually stumbled upon this as a child, is just noticing what we feel in our body and where. So developing our emotional awareness and our self-awareness is the first step. And actually, even before that, we want to be in a parasympathetic state so that we can have the liberty to explore that awareness. And then we might start noticing patterns. So for me personally, when I am picking up on someone else's anxiety, so I consider myself a highly sensitive person, and 20% of the population is. Lots of children coming in are now, and I'll speak to this in another episode. I feel other people's energy in the back of my heart. It actually feels more like a knife in my back. So when I feel that, I'm like, oh, okay, this belongs to somebody else, I can let it go. And I let it go. For the longest time though, I didn't know what this feeling was, and it was hard. It was really, really challenging to work through. As a child, what I did notice was I carried my anxiety in the front of my heart, in my chest. So I would do back bends quite often to release it, and after doing a back bend, I would feel so much better. The anxiety was basically gone. So one tool that I share in my kids yoga teacher training and with all my clients is body mapping. If you haven't heard of this, draw a little outline of a person, And when you have the time to notice your emotions, then I encourage you to try to do this regularly. Just have a regular practice throughout the day of checking in, noticing your body, noticing your breath, and any emotions or sensations that you might be feeling, so you can let go of them in the moment. And it's a practice. So when you start to notice that you're feeling something commonly in one area, you can draw on your little map in a different color for different emotions. So for example, maybe anxiety, I would color in red on my heart, and I'd be writing right beside that, okay, back bend is my tool. So it's a great tool you can share with children, I'd say more 7 up, but you can share the practice of becoming aware of what you're feeling and finding a tool to release that with children at a younger age. With children in the 2 to 5 range, just becoming aware of our emotions and understanding what they are is really, really beneficial. My daughter, she is only 3, and she's very articulate with her emotions, partly because I guess I've worked on that with her. But we're able to work through things quite easily. And children, I think, are naturally able to do this, and they come back into the present or to whatever they were doing playing before as soon as they've released it. They don't hold on to things like we do as adults. So if you can maybe learn that from your child, to let it go and help them learn to let go of emotions, it's a really, really powerful tool, so that we aren't storing our issues in our tissues. As always, leave a comment below. If you have any questions, please leave a question below and I'll get back to you. Anything that you would like to see on this channel, let me know, and I can try to address it or bring in someone else to who might be better qualified to address it. Yeah, check out the links below. I have lots of tools. I'd love to support you, and feel free always to reach out. I love connecting.